What if being broke isn't holy? What if struggling financially isn't faith? It's actually disobedience. Yeah, I know. I'm poking sacred cows right now, but the poverty gospel that's crept into the church that I hear so much about, it's a lie. God didn't call you to barely get by. He called you to multiply. So in this episode, we're going to go over there. I'm breaking down how scripture teaches wealth for impact, not luxury. We'll crush the lie that poverty equals purity, and I'll show you how Tyler Perry, Eric Thomas, and Steph Curry broke the mindset and now fund kingdom missions at scale all over the world. So let's talk about kingdom wealth, not just for income, but for kingdom impact. We're diving in 3, 2, 1, let's go.
Who are we? Hey, 7-figure squad. What we know? Run it up, run it up.
What's crackalacking, everybody? Money Smart Guy Matt Sapaula here, hailing to you from Dallas, Texas, and welcome back to the Faith Made Leader series, episode 9 now in our journey. So a quick recap. Episode 4, we talked about biblical stewardship. Episode 6, we talked about hustle meets holiness. Episode 8, you learn to prepare for the blessing. And now, if you've ever felt the tension between your faith and finances, this episode is your release. So drop this in the comments with these 1 or 2 words. Poverty, I've been told being broke is more godly. Or kingdom, I believe wealth is for impact. Put one of those 2 words in the comment section below. All right, so let's start with this. Ecclesiastes chapter 10, verse 19. A feast is made for laughter, and wine maketh merry, but money answereth all things. You see, who I believe the richest and wisest king who ever lived, King Solomon, he said this. Why? Because money isn't evil. It's essential. It solves problems. It builds infrastructure. It funds mission. It empowers churches. But here's the trap. We've spiritualized struggle and we've demonized increase. So let's be real. You can't give if you've got nothing to give. Look at Eric Thomas, Pastor E.T. Eric Thomas. It's your boy. You've seen him at our events. We sat down together. He went from homeless to world renowned. And now he funds schools, he mentors men, he leads people to purpose, all while preaching Jesus and living kingdom principles. He's not just making money, he's multiplying meaning, and his business is his ministry. Now let's talk about Luke chapter 8, verse 1 through 3. Jesus and his disciples were supported by women of means. Yes, women of means. Joanna, Susanna, and others. Jesus didn't freelance miracles. He had partners, he had patrons, he had purpose. Being strategic is not unspiritual. I'll give you an example. Steph Curry. He just doesn't shoot basketballs. He doesn't just do threes. He builds ministries. He uses his platform to fully fund content that glorifies God and uplifts the next generation. I even have a pair of his shoes. He's got the armor of God inside his shoes, scripture inside the Under Armour shoes.
I can do all things, and it's just a great reminder, obviously. You're always searching for purpose and why you're here, and for me, that's it.
In fact, think about how many people at Under Armour are blessed because they're putting scripture in the shoes that they're creating for him. Now, faith and finance, they're not in conflict. Faith and finance are in partnership. So let's talk about that. Let's talk about strategy. If you're serious about leveling up, you've got to get in the right room. That's why we created the quarterly event, Cigars, Wealth, and Whiskey, a place for high-level, faith-driven leaders to build real connections, talk real strategy, and leave ready to implement. Now, we're going to have Marlon Wayans in the room. And he's just not going to talk about his cigars. He's going to talk about building a business and entrepreneurship. And it's just not his business, about assignment. So are you ready to multiply what God gave you? Then go to cigarswealthandwhiskey.com and get your ticket. Sometimes the next level isn't a new idea. It's actually a new circle. Now, let's hit Romans chapter 12, verse 2. Be transformed by the renewing of your mind. See, God can't multiply a broke mindset. If you keep thinking small, budgeting out of fear and winging things and avoid tithing, you'll stay stuck. But the moment you can renew your mind, God will renew your capacity. Look at Tim Tebow, NFL quarterback turned full-time kingdom builder. Through his foundation, he funds hospitals, rescues homes, outreach for kids with special needs, is a warrior to fight human trafficking, all because he refused to think small. See, broke thinking keeps people out of purpose. Biblical thinking pushes people into what? Multiplication. And maybe you're thinking, Matt, I want this mindset. I just don't know how to apply it right now to my life and my season. See, that's why I'm on Connect. It's the one place you can book with me directly. And we'll talk finances, your calling, leadership, your next steps. We'll get real. We'll get get specific. We'll help you get results. So please go to Connect.com/Matt Sapaula and let's stop circling confusion and start making moves. So let me leave you with this. Stop spiritualizing struggle. Stop demonizing increase. We are called to multiply, not minimize. God gives you seed, not so you can just survive, so you can sow. So you've been told wealth and faith can't coexist. If you believe more money means less spiritual, it's time to break that lie. You need to share them this video because kingdom wealth isn't about greed. It's about impact, funding vision, feeding people, and fueling the mission. So comment right now these words. Multiply if you're done with broke thinking and ready to build for impact. Kingdom if you believe wealth is for assignment, not just accumulation. And don't forget, like this video, drop your biggest takeaway in the comment section below, subscribe if you haven't done so yet, and share it with someone stuck in this broke mentality. Help them break free too. So this is Faith Made Leader series, and don't miss next Sunday's episode. I'm very excited for this one. So we're going to dive deep into how to multiply what God already gave you, even if it feels small. We'll break down the widow's oil story, how NFL champion Steve Weatherford turned his obedience into overflow. So I'll see you next week. Let's go.